Yes, I am stuck in bronze, pro guides. What's going on, GameLeapers? Coach Cheese is back again, and I have a very special video today that I know is going to help every single one of you because I'm going to be reviewing a gold player's game and pointing out the common mistakes that everyone makes in this elo and beyond, but I'm also going to be teaching you how to fix them. So by the end of this video, you can apply all the red hot tips I give you straight away in your games. Now we're going to be watching gameplay of the Oceanic LL Stylish, and after sending in his game, he said, "I'm sick of getting trash teammates every single game. It's always jungle diff and I can't carry hard enough." Now, is this not everyone who plays League? So if you want the answers, guys, get ready for the next 10 minutes because you are about to learn more than you ever have. And before we send it, are you guys stuck in bronze? Then make sure to check out our website, GameLeap.com. Guys, you are guaranteed to improve by signing up because you will get access to our exclusive content designed to teach you and help you escape elo hell. Join thousands of others so you stay ahead of the competition. Links, as always, in the description and comment section. Alright, let's get into it. And the first thing I want to show you guys is the missing CS mechanic that every player in low elo uses. You see, when ZED misses this melee minion, he's actually taunting the Aurelia saying, "I don't even need this gold to beat you, bro." That's how elite he is. No, but seriously guys, if you're missing uncontested minions, it's time to go back to the drawing board. Now the easiest way to secure multiple CS in quick succession is to first of all look at the whole wave, not just the minion right in front of you so you can see that bigger picture. Then it's about developing a plan of attack. How do you secure these minions? So if we quickly go back and I pause it, the melee minions are of course your primary focus, especially on the first wave, and to get each and every one of these on ZED, in this situation, I'm going to have to use my Q and auto attack. That's my plan. So ZED actually does really well. He Qs these two, which is correct, but then forgets he can auto attack and misses important gold. So it may seem unimportant, the cheese going into detail here, but if CS wasn't crucial, then why doesn't every pro player try to miss the CS? Now the next mistake, and I swear this has been the main mistake in this series, is using your abilities on the minions when you don't have to. I don't know if Stylish the Second just got this skin and wanted to test out the Q animation, but this Q, like what is it? Maybe he's trying to hit the Aurelia when she last hits this minion, but this angle suggests otherwise. So the tip here guys is timing your spells. The optimal way of playing this mini situation, and you can be anyone in any lane, this is universal if you like, is to throw out your abilities when the enemy champion is trying to secure golden experience. And notice here how I didn't just say minions. I'm talking about towers, dragons, barons. Players will use their auto attacks and cooldowns on these resources, which means what? First of all, they are not using them on you, but also it takes them time to use their attacks and abilities, and for every champion in the game, your auto attacks you have to channel, as in you can't auto attack while moving, so you're standing still. Well, in this specific example, think about Aurelia for me. She can auto-attack this CS, yeah, but it's riskier because she would be standing still doing so, allowing ZED to throw his Q at her. And I doubt he would hit it, to be honest, but yeah. Knowing this, Aurelia rightly Qs the minion to last hit it, but ZED is completely unaware. So think of it like this, guys. You have a plan for securing your CS, right? Well, the enemy champion will also have a plan when getting theirs, so try to disrupt it. Try to add a cost to that situation. So you are saying, if you want that CS, I want some of that HP. So we're contesting all of these mini scenarios. So even this minion, Aurelia is going to Q it, and ZED does nothing. Throw that shuriken, bro. If only we all had 3 lanes like this. So CSing, timing, what else can we learn? Well, I want to learn if you guys are enjoying this series, so make sure to let us know by leaving a like. And yes, the next low-key mistake Stylish the Second makes is taking on a 1v1 when the enemy is obviously baiting. Aurelia's got that fishing rod out and ZED has taken the bait. So in your games, guys, when you notice your opponent playing more whack than usual, more often than not, they are trying to bait you into punishing this wackiness so you overcommit and are therefore easy to gank for the enemy jungler. So look at this for me. Wait, this wave is pushing into Aurelia and look at the size of it. It's bigger than Perks' salary. So why on earth would Aurelia want to fight ZED inside of it? Because Wukong is waiting in the wings, that's right. Like if you're a jungler and you on my way ping to that lane you want to gank, your laner is probably going to start randomly fighting. And that's the key to it. If you can spot this random fight the enemy laner goes for, as in there's no real reason for it if it was just a 1v1, then it isn't a 1v1. Now what's funny is that ZED can probably kill Aurelia here, and if he didn't auto attack this minion he actually would. But I want to point out something else which is going to give this Wukong gank away even more. So ZED's jungler, this Hecarim, where is he at this moment in time? He's ganking bot lane. So if Hecarim is bot side of the map and Wukong hasn't showed for a while, he's most likely going to be top side of the map. So when Aurelia starts running towards this brush and not her tower, it only makes sense if her jungler is nearby, right? Otherwise, she would just run back to her tower. So the tip here, guys, is to never forget that your lane is not just between you and your opponent, there are other influences, and there are ways in which we can deduce if those influences are nearby. So when ZED question marks his death, he's doing this because he didn't realize the enemy jungler existed. And this could be the enemy support roaming or top laner roaming. It's not just that enemy champion with smite you have to take into account. So pay attention to these details, guys, you're going to die a heck of a lot less. Speaking of dying a lot less, oh never mind, he's dead again. Right, now this is actually pretty funny, and to any of you Zed players out there, one of your goals is to use your ultimate shadow to get hit by CC. Not sure if you already knew that. Alright, that was a little harsh, sorry Mr. Zed, but can you see the similarities between this play and the one we just watched? It's a carbon copy, and no doubt at this point in the game he was sending Hecarim a paragraph of flame. So look at Aurelia, diving into a big creep wave again, and even if she gets level 6 off this, it's still not worth in a 1v1 because minion damage matters big time. So the only other justification we have is that the Kong is stroking that stick of his nearby. Now I do want to get into the mechanics from Stylish Jr. here, and when you're playing an all-in champion like Zed, your best way to all-in someone is with all of your abilities. But sometimes we're not going to have every single one, so we have to make use out of what we have. So in this situation, just before Zed death marks the Aurelia, he Qs. Why? I have no idea, it's really troll because he's not using his Q with his ultimate. Remember on Zed in particular, the more damage you deal to an ulted champion, the more damage the death mark is going to do. Also take note of how his E is on cooldown too. So the tip I'm giving you here is patience in order to harmonize your kit, using your abilities as one. So based on this, what do you guys think Zed should do? Well, obviously don't Q before you're about to press R, it's a massive waste. So after ulting, you can either Q Aurelia straight away, auto attack and E when it's up, or you can hold onto your shuriken knowing Aurelia doesn't have flash or a Q available, and using this with your E for an insane amount of burst. And yeah, at the end of that explosion, try not to ult back into the Aurelia stun. Always handy, that one. So synergizing your abilities, guys, so important. Now the next must-know strategy that will help you escape the pits of low elo, take high percentage trades. Let me give you a bit of context. Zed is 0-2 with a serrated dirk and a longsword, no ultimate. Wukong is 4-0 with a sheen, kindle gem and boots with his ultimate. Now in what world is fighting this Wukong going to end up being good for you? And this is the point. The chances of coming out of this trade with anything positive is never going to happen, but old mate goes for this trade anyway. Now I know what you're thinking, but Hecarim is right there. Yeah, he is. But did he ping on my way? What about if Hecarim is a quarter HP and level 5? Wukong can probably 1v2 them, to be honest. So if Zed wanted to make a play with Hecarim, he can assist ping an on my way ping, and if Hecarim responds and starts moving over, then you have a high percentage situation. But when it's just a 1v1 and you are at a disadvantage in terms of cooldowns, why even bother? Like Aurelia just based, why not shove this wave in the mid lane and then look to roam topside because you don't want to be running towards the Wukong, of course. So just because you see an enemy champion right in front of you guys doesn't mean you have to fight them. As a result in this game, even if Zed was to hard shove this wave, he isn't full HP, so making a play elsewhere on the map is obviously riskier. High percentage trades, guys, keep this in mind and you will stop getting chunked for no reason. Now this next clip I'm showing you reiterates the importance of synergizing your abilities and cooldowns. Now Zed unfortunately misses his shurikens on Wukong, but the idea here is actually good. He can easily one-shot the Wukong here, it's just that yeah, his shurikens went to Mars instead. But he's using his Q, W, E and Ignite all at once, and what's better is that Wukong is silenced. That's the important part of all of this. And if we continue watching, let me just pause it here. What's the difference between this ultimate on this set compared to the one on Aurelia in the mid lane? He has his Q and E off cooldowns. How easy was that? Now if you couldn't tell the difference, I do have a remedy for you. The GameLeap website. Guys, for red hot VOD analyses, champion courses and guides, legit everything. Click on one of the links down below for that exclusive access and a bit more cheese. Now I'm not sure if the Zed is looking into the future when playing this game and can hear what I'm saying, but he actually applies one of our essential tips here. Did you notice it? He tried to Q the Aurelia when she was going for a CS. There is hope after all. Don't wait until level 7 to do this though, do it as soon as the lane starts. But props to you Zed, good job. Now this next mistake Mr. Zed makes is a very common one that everyone commits. I don't care what elo you are in, I've seen it at all ranks, and again it's to do with patience. So Zed going for an execute onto Wukong here seems justified. If he lands his Qs he kills the Kong, but does he need to use them right away? So again, the reason using them in the topside river was optimal was because Wukong was silenced. He doesn't have a flash or a dash, he's more or less a sitting duck. But when he's mobile like he is here, it's a great idea to hold on to your important skill shot rather than just throwing it out max range, hoping it might hit. So think of Zed in particular here. When you W and E an enemy champion, they are going to be slowed. Well, this allows you to get into a position from which you can 100% land your Qs, and in some or most cases even, that enemy champion will be so worried about getting hit by your shurikens, they will out-juke themselves and run themselves out of room. So in this case, it would be better to W and E, auto attack, and hold onto your Q. And for those Zed mains out there, Stylish Jr. who we're watching, could even R after Wing and Eing to try land the triple shuriken mechanic, which yeah, deals a ridiculous amount of damage. Now, as the fight continues, guys, Gold Zed is going to show you how to waste your flash. Let me rewind it here. Gold Zed, just press R, please. Oh, you're in range. Instead, our friend decides getting hit by Wukong's knockup is more worth, which then forces him to burn flash to get back in range. Real OP move, this one. And although he lands one of his Qs onto Wukong instead of auto-attacking to guarantee the kill, he goes back to his shadow for no apparent reason, dies anyway, when Wukong survives and kills Lux too just to top it off. So the lesson, guys, we can learn from this fight is target priority. And yes, there are some mechanical errors too, but if Gold Zed placed a lot more value on killing Wukong in this fight, he wouldn't have used his death mark this late. Wukong would have been dead a lot sooner, and because he's by far the most fed on his team, Gold Zed's team would clean up. So before you arrive on the scene of a skirmish or teamfight, guys, you have to be able to prioritize the enemy champions. So for a mid lane assassin, it's quite simple. Who do I have to try kill to win the fight? This Ezreal, for example, isn't full build with 10 CS per minute. He's probably got a Doran's Blade still with 5 CS per minute, so he's completely irrelevant. This Wukong, on the other hand, is the big bounty and will do way more in an early game teamfight than anyone else. So even if you use your ultimate on a low HP target, guys, if it's a high priority target, it is worth. And I'm sure you've seen in pro games where like 5 ultimates will be used on one target just to get rid of that threat. Well, same sort of thinking here. Now, I love this next clip because I used to be the Zed. I think we all did. I used to pull out the typewriter and the pings when I got solo killed, or if I thought one of my teammates wasn't playing up to my lofty standards. And this is the next big essential tip you guys need to take into your games. The only form of communication this Zed has had with his jungler is question marking him when he dies. We saw earlier that Zed didn't communicate at all with Hecarim when Wukong was outside their raptor camp. Well, same thing here. He's obviously upset he hasn't gotten any ganks. Well, there is a simple way to ask for one. Ping! Do you guys think your silver, gold, plat, even diamond junglers move their camera off themselves to look at lane states? They probably don't even know what game mode it is, so let them know the enemy mid laner is gankable by throwing out some comms. It's still pretty funny though, I'm not gonna lie. Now what isn't funny, guys, is this next clip because Gold Zed makes the same mistake, and I can't stress to you guys enough how important it is to use your abilities together. So what cardinal sin does Gold Zed commit this time? He uses his Q as he is about to ult in, meaning that he cannot use this all-important ability after death marking. This Ezreal is probably laughing as a result, and Zed's team loses the game in the next 2 minutes. So maybe Wukong had more of an influence than Hecarim this game, and maybe in your games the enemy jungler seems to be doing more, but ask yourself, are you part of that equation? Are you one of the reasons that enemy jungler is super farmed and yours isn't? Now guys, after all that, I want to know what rank you think Zed deserves. This is gold 3 by the way, so higher, lower, the same, level 1, let me know in the comments. As always, thanks so much for watching guys, this has been Coach Cheese and until tomorrow's upload.